We're about to leave the dock on one engine, very tight spot between two fingers like this. So we have to try and push out, and it's hard with the port engine as our only engine, but we're gonna see how we go, and it's just the two of us here. And then kind of motor around, get to the place we're haul out, and get cracking. We've got so many jobs to do, and we're gonna work our little butts off for the next however many days it takes us to get the most important things done, safety things, fuel, motor, driveline and all that, and then get out of here. We were pushing it off fine, or I was, and then it wasn't moving any further, and I thought I just wasn't strong enough. We left the middle spring line on. Now this take two might go a little better.
Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector.
We've decided to build our own fuel polishing system. I wanted to do it because I want to get to know the fuel system as well as Darcy knows it. I built it out here in the cockpit so we can deal with the fuel issue that we currently have, but then I'm going to install it inside and permanently so that we can use it in Mexico and all the other countries we end up going to. This big guy is the fuel filter. The cartridges that go in it are the same price as the little tiny cartridges. That's why we went with the massive monster one. This is the fuel pump, and it's attached to a 12-volt battery that gets it to work, and our battery charger. I've hooked it all up, or plumbed it into our main fuel line. So the fuel comes up from our one big tank, gets filtered, and then I'm putting it into the jerry cans. So then we'll have clean fuel in all our jerry cans. We're gonna add some biocide again, just to be on the extra safe side, and then pour it all back into the fuel tank, and then repeat the filtering process as many times as I can before we go back into the water. And that's the plan.
So why don't you show us how it works there?
All right, so this is the last thing. I can hook it up with this, but for now I'll just hold it and see if it works. Yep. And I can see the fuel coming out.
That's all clean filtered fuel.
Yep. So this might take a while. And might be my job for the next few days. But it'll be worth it. And that way we've got a plan for Mexico and all the other places that we might get bad fuel. Well, it's the next day now, and I've managed to completely empty the fuel tank into these jerry cans. There's 15 of them, so 300 litres I got out, or about 80 gallons. I'm going to put some more biocide into them and then pour it all back into the fuel tank, and then install the fuel polishing system permanently inside. And that way when we start heading down south and we're sailing and the fuel's getting sloshed around in the tank, we can turn it on and re-fuel polish everything as it goes back into the tank and hopefully get the rest of the gunk out, because I'm sure we haven't got it all out yet.
And how many fuel filters do we have on board? All of them.
All of them. Everything that's available. And they're massive.
So we're replacing the prop shaft and the drive shaft. In order to do that, we need to take this off, which is the aqua drive. And in order to do that, we need to unbolt all of these bolts here. So stand by. Well, that took more time than I wanted to admit to unbolt all of that. Now we get to the smashy bit. This plate has to come out. So I'm gonna hit it from behind. That was easier than I thought. All right, this plate removed. Now I can go to town cutting with my grinding disc. So one zip cut disc later, two zip cut disc later, I guess. We got the prop shaft cut in half. So that means if we get this out of the way, we can haul this out of here. Whew, that's warm still. So this is what I cut off. That's the prop shaft right here. This is the aqua drive, and this is where a ball bearing absolutely flew out of it and why it's not working anymore. So we shall be replacing this shortly. Can't see. Okay, let's go outside and take the prop off. Welcome to the outside world. So this is our prop shaft that we're going to be removing. We've already cut it inside, so now we're going to cut it here. Let's see. Yeah, right here. You can see that it's already been corroding a little bit. If you look right here, there's already a little bit of corrosion. And so that's the kind of thing that we would never have been able to inspect because it is pushed in like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull it out as far as we can. Maybe a little bit further than this, and then we're gonna cut it.
Oh, you couldn't get the circle, did you, Wayne?
Thanks for zooming in on my miscut. Woo! That was definitely harder than it should have been. Okay.
Got there eventually.
Yeah. Now, we need to get what's called the cutless bearing out. And that's going to be a total pain. Or it would be if I didn't have a secret. And it involves this pole and that hammer I was just using. I'm going to go on the other side, and instead of taking like 3 hours and having to cut the cutless bearing out, it's just going to pop right out. No Murphy's Law.
Got it. A little bit. Yay!
Oh, it's way more energy than I wanted it to be, but it was only like 5 minutes. Cutless bearings. Oh. Oh, that's why.
What?
I didn't loosen it.
Oh.
So what I forgot is that it has these bolts that hold it in place. And that's why it was so hard to take out. Usually they are very hard to take out, but this would have been a lot easier if I had backed off the set screws that were holding it in place. Oh well. So I've backed the set screws off that made the cutless bearing so hard to get out. So it should be really easy to put in. So all we need to do is, that's the right way, put that here, and then just kind of tap. And then the trick that I found, at least when I did the other side, is to just use a hammer. And that way you put pressure on the whole cutless bearing at the same time, and you don't damage this if you were just tapping it with the hammer. That's the cutless bearing installed. Well, kind of. I gotta put the set screws in again. So these right here, these little screws that you see popping up are the set screws. and those need to be put in, and they hold the cutless bearing in place. Now we just need to get the prop shaft back through here, which is going to be a little bit tight, but it's almost ready to go. Not quite. Once the prop shaft is through here, we can start installing some of the other stuff that makes the boat watertight. And then even if we don't get everything else hooked up, which we will, we'll be able to go back in the water. This is the key for the prop shaft here. And it fits in this key slot right here. It's a weird looking key, I know, but right in there. And so it should be simple. You can't put these on backwards, by the way. It's not really possible because there's a taper right here, so they won't go on properly if you put them on backwards. I think. And the real easy thing to help you press them on is you just put this nut on and then start turning it. 1 second. Hope this goes big enough. Whew. Oh man, it does not. Wow. I mean, it generally is a really easy thing if you have a big enough crescent wrench, but as you can see, this crescent wrench is just a hair too small, but that's okay. We'll just go get another crescent wrench, or we can borrow one, but we should probably have one that fits this anyway, so we'll go pick one up at some point. It's for the better part of it. It's on. All you need to do, we'll show you later, we'll just bolt this. Once you turn this, it forces the blade higher up onto the shaft here, and then it's done. We'll probably have to tap the shaft back a little bit this way to get it in the perfect position. But essentially, some work inside, and the drivetrain is fixed.
Yay!
It's still probably several hours of work. Hold your yays.
Whenever you say almost done, it's always a few more hours. I know that now.
Okay, we're having a good day though. Let's keep it going.
Yep.
I went out and bought a much bigger crescent wrench, so this should work. Well, it should work. I know it works. I'm just gonna tighten this on and then put the other nut on after. I'm gonna put Loctite on these instead. So I'm gonna undo them.
We don't want another bolt coming off like get the steering.
No, definitely not.
I'm gonna grab you some gloves. Good?
All good. And then, oh, that's not how you put a pin in. That pin goes in, and then it gets bent. So that way, even if this nut backs off, that pin will keep it on. All right, now that this is on, while it's still not raining, we're gonna go cut the mast track off.
As you can see, our props are in really rough shape. They've kind of been eaten away by galvanic corrosion, which you can prevent by using zincs, which we did have on, but ours obviously came off at some point and we didn't realize until we started wrapping the prop around the line and noticed. Putting some new ones on today, and hopefully our props are still good to go.
Yeah, they're good enough.
Yeah, for now. So this is some Loctite. Stop it coming apart like everything on this boat. One up. Not too tight. Bit more Loctite on this side. It's just an Allen key. And we'll check that more often from now on. So we were just told by the guy in the boat next to us to use some Flex, and he gave us some and put it in right here to further stop the bolts from coming out. So hopefully this will stop the issue next time. That might be a bit much. We'll do both sides. We lost the zinc on the other side as well, so I'm going to replace that one now too.
But we won't bore you with those details.
Yeah.
Everything has to be done twice on this boat.
Yeah.
We have to do a couple of things with the mast. The track that's way back there that you'll be able to see a bit better in a second has to come off, and the pin has to come out because we're replacing the pin as well. So to do that, we have our spinnaker halyard here lifting up this side of the boom. Did I say mast? I meant boom. We need to do stuff with the boom. So I'm going to take the pin out. Hopefully this doesn't fall. Have it supported here, and then we're going to have to move it kind of this way, and then grind the track off. So
this is the track we didn't know existed.
yeah, this is the track we didn't know existed.
So there's a short track on the end of the boom,
Here's the pin.
but we want a long track so that when we reef we can still have the foot of the mainsail attached. Yeah?
Yeah. This is our old VHF. It works, but it doesn't work that well. And we need to hook up the new VHF. We still have one. We have the handheld one that we bought new. That's really good. But we want a permanently wired in one. And while we're doing the AIS, we might as well do the VHF as well. So let's switch this bad boy out. I've already done a bunch of the pre-wiring, so it should be relatively quick. This is the bracket for the new VHF. And all of this is going to be kind of cleaned up later on when we figure out exactly where we want to put this stuff. All right, now let's get the AIS in place. This is the AIS. It's we got a sweet deal on it, but we later learned that the sweet deal meant that it involved a lot more setup than just a regular AIS. So it is a really good quality system though. And this is the AIS splitter. Wow, VHF splitter I think it's called. And it allows you to have one antenna for the VHF radio and the AIS transmission. So I'm just gonna bolt that in under here, screw that in. And then this just goes right here, and everything works. I think everything works. So now all I have to do is flick this switch, and it should turn everything on. Well, that turned on. That turned on. Why is it beeping? Oh, I think we have to put in our MMSI number.
I think I'll get you to take Max's boat. He's up for the 240 Echo.
I think that means we don't have to test it, because Max in the 240 Echo has tested it for us. That means the VHF works. And it's picking up stuff that the handheld isn't, because it's way up there.
That's cool.
That's good. Now we just have to figure out this AIS, which we're not going to do right now. And we're good. That's the VHF system installed and done, and I know that there was one there before. The AIS system, there wasn't one there before, so that's in. Still have to program it. but that's how you install those in like 10 minutes. We're gonna kill this refit.
He's going to ignore like the 5 hours or so of work you did before this.
There may have been a little bit of pre-work and also a little bit of reading the instruction manual. I'm not ashamed to admit. But still, maybe like 20 minutes tops.
It was definitely like 5 hours. At
Okay,
least.
let's do something else now. So there's a bunch of things we're trying to have a look at today. We have professional riggers on site from ProTech. They are working really diligently, really quickly, and fit us in on a really tight schedule, which has been amazing. It's a bunch of noise, it's a yard. We managed to get the mast pulled back. The mast had actually walked its way forward a little bit. So we managed to get the mast pulled back, and we're gonna address 2 cracks in the back of the mast by putting a doubler on. We'll show you what it is when it gets done. We also loosened off the rigging here. And with the rigging off, we're just gonna put a bunch of anti-seize in here and then tighten it back up. And that's gonna basically address any potential problems in the future with our rigging. The rigging is good, the standing rigging is fine, as well as the turnbuckles, but it's just stainless on stainless. And that means that there can be, the metal can kind of mate with each other, like it's called galling. So we're gonna get that addressed as well.
The rigging's been replaced.
Yes.
Within the last few years.
Yes, the rigging is new rigging. And we also are going to do a bunch of stuff with how the boat is rigged. So how we sail the boat, where stuff connects, where blocks and pulleys and everything like that are. So hopefully it's going to be a good day, busy day. And the boat should point better. So it should sail towards the wind a lot better after we're done with all this stuff. We're hoping all of it's going to be done by Wednesday, because we need to get in the water on Wednesday, because we need to be heading out on like Thursday. So too much to do.
One of the main things we're doing today is getting the stay sail furler replaced. We haven't used it because it's been like this, and it's going to be a really good help when we go down.
All right, the professionals are here. Let's go. Neighbors going back into the water.
It'll be us one day.
One day.
Okay, now back to work.
Hold on. And then also do
the new stay sail furler is on now. The line's just getting put on as well. Our old jib sheet's down. We've got old sails that came with the boat. We've got the stay sail that we've never used. We've got it fixed, so we've got a bit of pink on that. You'll see that on our way down to Mexico, because we'll be using that. We're gonna keep using the old jib sheet and main sail. I mean
jib sail
and main sail, just while we get better at sailing. But we have ordered a new jib sail, main sail, and we will use those down the track. And we've got to pick them up from Vancouver Island on our way south.
Just the one. We have the one.
One of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, lots getting done today, and about 100 more jobs to do. And the plan is to get back in the water tomorrow, and about a day to do some jobs while we're back at the club, and then off on Friday early morning, middle of the night probably, to catch the weather window. It's looking good, unless the weather changes.
It's not changing. It's gonna be good.
It is.
Manifest destiny.
We're doing this.
So we're gonna unbolt these. This is where we stored, we would put the furling lines for the jib sheet. But they're not gonna go here anymore. They're gonna run back to the cockpit, because having to, you know, reef and everything when you're right here, right beside the boat when it's pitching and rolling, I determined when our engines failed that sucked. So we're replacing these, we're removing these, and it's going to go back to the cockpit. Done. Just one more. This is also the new place that our jib sheet is going to run. So hopefully it won't go in the prop as much anymore.
Yeah, it used to run over the complete edge of the boat, right to the back. The very, very, very stern of the boat. I'll show you on the other side. We've taken that one down, but on the other side it's still there, and we're going to take that off as well. But you can see right at the back, that's our jib sheet there. Runs over the edge of the boat.
Metal?
Bolt head, and then the metal, and then the plastic.
And then throw another one on the ground.
Yeah, well, that's the ground is the best spot for it. Okay, forward. Down a bit. Right there. First try. Okay. Now, a plastic, and then I probably should cut another metal one, but for now I can just put this bolt on.
Yep.
And there's gonna be 2 bolts on here.
2 nuts?
Well, you want to get specific and also be correct. One of the last things we have to do before it starts pouring again, which is probably going to pour any second now, is we have to quickly drill some holes in here. Our main jib, roller furling, and staysail roller furling are going to lead back here and then into the cockpit instead of us precariously being perched over there. So let's get it done quick because the rain is already starting. All right, now we just got to go put the blocks in. Look this way, right?
Lift it up away from the winch. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We put all of these on backwards before, and so we're hoping not to do that again.
All right, now I just got to go downstairs, put the nuts onto them, and keep them somewhat dry until they cure. We got new steering bolts. This is a better bolt, and we got washers as well because everyone said we should get washers. And the best we can do is a double nut right now, and we're gonna put some thread sealant on it. I forgot the thread sealant.
Okay, let's go back.
Okay.
Take 2.
All right. Take 2 now with thread sealant. So we're gonna throw these bolts on. Unfortunately, we can't have it going from the top. The steering just isn't designed to be able to have it going from the top like that. So we have to have it on the bottom. But we'll show you the improvements that this is gonna make.
Oh, that bolt is too long. All right,
Hold on, we gotta get some washers. Take 3. I have these plastic washers as well. So it's 1 metal washer, 1 plastic washer like that, and that's why the spacing was off. I completely forgot about them. So, why don't you come back over yonder. So now we have plastic washer and a metal washer, plastic washer and a metal washer, and we're gonna do the same up here
we're gonna have a plastic washer and a metal washer. So it doesn't bind or anything like that. Let me just hold these. So do this. Plastic washer first, then the metal washer, and then we put on one more metal washer just for some space. Okay, so that won't be going anywhere. The thread lock. 1 second. Okay, that's not going anywhere now. And we're also going to inspect it regularly because that sucked last time.
Sure did.
This is our old stuffing box. This is the new dripless system. It's a PYI dripless system, and I've installed it on the other side before, and I love it. It drips a little bit. It's supposed to, it's designed to, but it lets the seawater in, and I hate that, and I hate having wet bilges. This keeps the bilge nice and dry, keeps all the water outside, so we're gonna put this in. And we're gonna do something with that, maybe keep it for a spare that I'm never gonna use. PYI actually makes their own hose clamps as well, and they are specially designed to not cut through this rubber that we're putting on. And I wish that I had a ton more of them, but instead we just have the cheap hose clamps. So what I just tapped in here is called the keyway, and if I spin this, then maybe you see it better. It's this piece right here, and that's the key that holds the coupler on, and this is the coupler. So this attaches to the shaft, and then it attaches the shaft to the aqua drive. I didn't anticipate that going on so easily. This is the aqua drive, so it bolts on to the shaft with the coupling on these 4 holes, and then the drive shaft goes on this side. So we need to put it in place before we bolt in the support for it. So the next step...
How much more is there though, Bob?
So last night was a complete absolute mess. We did not get it done in time. We were lucky enough that we got to stay overnight on the boat. The security guard was very kind. We ran into an issue with fitting up the driveline and the aqua drive and everything in the prop shaft. It was an absolute mess. We had to cut a large hole in the boat, but everything fits, everything's good now. So we'll show you what we did.
And the reason we had to stay up all night was because we're going into the water today.
Oh yeah, no rush or anything. We're good though. I think we have it under control though.
Yeah.
So this is the dripless shaft system that we put in. So this rubs against this, and it doesn't let any water in. And then this is the aqua drive unit that we put in. And then if we go back further, this is the new drive line that we put in. This goes all the way back to the engine. So all of this is brand new. All of it is brand new.
and it's all fit up, it's all torqued properly, and should be good to go. We should not have any problems. Obviously, we're going to leak test it as soon as we get in the water, but it was a whole ton of work. Everything that you saw, we had to redo again, and it was at like 2 in the morning. But
yeah,
you know what? We managed to accomplish it, and we're just a little bit more to go. We're going to be sailing soon.
Yes, it's all in place.
Are you ready to go?
I am ready to get back in the water. As long as we don't sink.
As long as we don't sink. We're not going to sink. It'll be good. We just have a lot of work to do, but we got to work together and make it happen.
And we've done a lot of work.
Yeah,
we've
already done lots. We'll be good, hun.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. We're about to go back in the water. It's been an absolutely crazy few days on the hard. Getting everything ready, fixing everything, getting new rigging. It's been probably the most mental few days of my life. Hardly any sleep, but we've got to get back in the water. There's a weather window opening up tonight. So if all goes well, we're heading south, starting middle of tonight. We're going to head back to the marina now. We've got some friends coming to meet us, help us with a few last minute safety things, clean up, and then get going.
It is an absolute mess right now on board.
It is, but we've got the most important things done. Everything went wrong during the week. Things we needed delivered for parts got delivered to the wrong people's addresses because it's not our address. Yeah, everything went wrong. But
That's
also
okay.
a lot of things went right.
Yeah, a lot went right for us to get us to here. So
things we needed to get made, like the driveline and stuff, they were amazing. Yeah, the prop shaft, incredible. So here we go. Yeah. All went well getting into the water. There's no leaks, nothing like that. So that's one thing good going today. Now we're heading to the marina. We've got about 8 hours before the tide gets too low to get out of the marina. So if we want to leave today, which we do because of the weather, we've got about 8 hours to get everything else done we want to. There's a lot of critical safety things we still want to get done. A bunch of different jobs. We've got some friends, or at least one friend, coming to help. And then it's going to be a mad rush, but if all goes well, we'll be out tonight, around midnight.
I have faith that we will do it. We just got to work hard.
Yeah, which we've been doing all week. It's been amazingly stressful.
Okay, we got to work a little bit harder than we've been working all week.
I don't think it's possible. All right, we can do this. That's one thing we need to do.
This is Anthony. He's bad at introducing himself.
Horrible at it.
But he's great at helping us in the last minute because we are hours away from leaving. So what we have done is we're replacing the stay sail halyard. So we have an eye splice on this side, and we have tied it up to here to our old halyard, and we're gonna pull it through now. So if you see me crying in the corner, it's because this connection came undone.
Which would be my fault.
Which would be his fault.
No pressure.
But we wouldn't blame him because he's helping us.
Yeah.
So let's get this going. All right.
And he also doesn't want to get this dirty.
Which is, it's going to happen in like 3 seconds after it hits the deck.
Hold on, I want to put as little load on it as possible. Okay, keep going.
It's already in the mud. Yay, touch it because my hands are now filthy.
Okay,
Success!
pull it through all the way.
Right.
And you shouldn't have a whole ton of excess anyway, so. And this is...
We should fill up water before we go.
Yeah.
Is that the clue? Well, that's the...
That is the tacker quick one. So we're doing this so it doesn't just back off and fall off on its own. This way the shackle won't come apart.
Just the safety. I feel like this is gonna get scrutinized.
It will.
Go. I'll be the pre-feeder.
Whose idea was it to do this by hand?
Mine. Okay. Hold it.
Stop, stop.
Now you can tension the halyard. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. A little more. That's good.
Yeah.
So when you're tacking, do it with a sheet ease, so it's not like pulling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know who you're talking to? You're talking to Team Accidental Jibe here.
You guys are fine.
Okay, ready?
Yep. I'm not so tall.
Oh, now you're gonna complain about how I did that sail.
Who? What? Nobody.
You want to pull her tight? I guess you need the
Yep,
other
I
one.
will. Go. Yep.
Let's call her there.
There you go. Can you pull the jib sheet your way?
Can I ever?
There you go.
Woohoo! That's done.
We barely managed to get off the dock in time. It wasn't quite the send-off that we'd envisioned, but we're so pumped to be heading south to Mexico. Our world sailing trip is really happening. We would like to give a huge thank you to our friend Anthony. We'd never have made it off in time without his hours of selfless help. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to follow this massive adventure. See you next Friday.